Ramble.
This podcast is brought to you by Shopify and Bubba Rose and Potluck and Pop It Pal and a million other businesses. Why so many? Because we're sponsored by Shopify and they do everything they can to support the independent businesses on their platform. So they included them in this sponsorship. You know, we use Shopify in everything we do. It really helps us run our business. We love it. You should see all the ways Shopify is supporting independence at shopify.com/independence. Shopify, supporting independence.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify and Caliper CBD.
Hello world, it's your favorite boys, the Try Guys, here in the TryPod, quarantined at home, practicing social distancing. We hope you still are too. We have Miles Bonsignore, the most important member.
Wow, that's kind and untrue.
And then, the other three guys are here too.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, thanks for having us. Wow, thank you.
If you happen to be watching this on our YouTube channel, we are trying to film this in Zoom. It's the hot new app you keep seeing memes out of these days.
Do you guys remember the old commercials where it was like, zoom, zoom,
Yeah.
zoom, zoom, zoom?
We were all thinking it.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Man, that was a fucking
my head
banger.
went to all these people complaining about how they have to put on pants for their Zoom conference calls, which is true, except Eugene is not wearing a shirt right now if you're watching on youtube.com/tripod.
Hey.
Should we all take our shirts off?
You look
Yeah,
good,
everyone take
bro.
your shirts off.
Take
your shirts
Should we all
off.
take our shirts
we
off?
I'm gonna take my
shirts off.
You can't even avoid this frame. You won't even see anything.
Come on, we gotta
get hot in here.
get their views. Miles, it's just your shoulders.
Shirt off? I think this is illegal for you to ask me to do.
Miles, I don't want you to do anything that you're not
All right,
comfortable
Miles,
doing.
you don't have to take your shirt off.
I'll do it. I mean, I want to be a team
No,
player.
you don't have to. This is the voice of HR. You don't have to.
I'm just imagining this being replayed in court.
Miles, keep your shirt on.
Miles, you don't
Hey, take it off.
Yeah,
Nice.
the shirt is off.
All right.
Wow, naked podcast. Oh,
Dude pod.
feels freeing. Feels
Wow.
good.
Wow. This is incredible.
Why have we been doing this? I haven't been doing this the whole time. This is awesome.
This is great.
This is a good,
and also everything's
extra
framed
thing.
on our chests, so we don't know if we're wearing pants off or not.
That's true.
So guys,
That wasn't a real sentence. We don't know if we're wearing pants
Pants off or not.
or we have our pants off. Guys, I gotta say, we've been like exercising every morning. I feel like I'm in the best shape of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, like, I'm not sure if it's coming across on the YouTubes yet, but this is day 12. I think we've hit pretty much 11 out of 12.
You're looking
in terms
swole.
of like
I'll say that.
morning YouTube workouts. It's the missing piece. Apparently going to the gym has been slowing me down.
They call this app Zoom, but I'm thinking it should be called Boom, because look at that body, Ned. My God.
Yeah. Look at those ribs.
I've been really, everyone's been focusing on the negative of social distancing. Like, oh, I'm bored in my home. But let's focus on the positives, because I'm really using this quarantine to work on me. I'm really regrounding myself and think that we're finding our stride here. This is the best time of my life.
Quarantine, more like quarantine meme.
Oh, that's good.
Whoa.
That was rough.
That was good.
That was rough. But Zach, what are you doing to work on yourself? How are you staying positive?
A lot of things. I've also been exercising. I think we all have. California, Los Angeles has the safer at home order, so all non-essential businesses closed. This is happening all around the country, and I hope it continues to happen in more places to keep people safe. But the day before it stopped, I went to Still Life Ceramics, where we did our pottery video many moons ago, and I picked up a pottery wheel from them. So I now have, I could show you guys later, but I have a pottery wheel in my house. I'm taking this time to pick up on a hobby that that's just one of the things that I've wanted to do for so long, but being able to go every Wednesday for a class, it did, Maggie's schedule was all over the place, my schedule was all over the place. Now we got a pottery wheel in our house. There's nothing but time.
That's amazing. So is that right? Ever since we did the pottery video, you've been wanting to take it up as a hobby?
Oh yeah, big time. I adore, one, I loved doing it, but I also Like I love ceramics. It's just like they tickle me. I don't know. I love them. I'm a real pothead over here. What can I say?
Wow.
Have you been like
That
so you're like sitting inside your house using the spin? Like are you making stuff? How much clay do you have? This is incredible.
They gave me so much clay. Like it is the heaviest. Like it. First of all, the ceramic, the wheel itself must be 800 pounds. The guy came and put it in my car like it was nothing. And I'm like, oh, sick. I tried lifting it out of my car and nearly threw my back out. So Maggie and I were able to bring it up the elevator, get it in my apartment.
But you were able to lift 800 pounds?
No, it's probably like...
Very heavy. 800 pounds is a very heavy thing.
Well, again,
So
Keith, I've been
heavy.
working out every day, so I'm now in the best shape of my life.
I mean, yeah, but I think I just watched like the world record heavyweight like dude do like 600 pounds. So I'm like,
You're looking at me without my shirt on. Do I not look like the kind of guy that could lift 800 pounds?
where I can't see your legs, so that's where all the power is. So who knows?
Oh yeah, I've totally disproportionate muscle growth in the last week. My legs are
You're a
just
centaur.
swollen.
Yeah, it's the opposite of chicken legs. It's like mammoth legs.
The clay pack they gave me itself, I'm exaggerating, of course. The wheel's probably like 70 or 80 pounds, which is just too heavy. Maybe it's 100.
heavy.
I don't know. It's
That's
a lot.
heavy.
But
That's
the,
super heavy.
The clay itself is easily, it's over 20 pounds of clay. It's so dense and so heavy. Because you just see
We
this little
really
bag, you're
can't
like,
trust your
nothing.
weight estimates anymore, though.
I can't. I have no idea. What about you guys? What are you doing? Any positive new hobbies?
It's not a hobby. But Becky and I this last weekend, for our first time ever, went to H Mart, which is the Korean like a large grocery store, and it was a blast. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it had the stresses of normal shopping because you're interacting with people, but so many different things. The freezer sections just were totally different. It was like 80% dumplings, so we bought like 80% dumplings as our groceries. We got noodles, we got soup mixes. I got a frozen seafood box with just like random frozen seafood things in it. We've been eating noodles, dumplings, soups. I am living. And also the produce, way cheaper.
Wow.
I got like
That's awesome.
like 2 pounds of baby bok choy for like $2.
I gotta check that
Forget
out.
about it.
What store did you say you went to?
H Mart. There's one in
Keith, stop
Pasadena.
talking.
Smart.
Keith, stop talking.
I know.
Stop sharing the Asian people's secrets.
What was so cool about it is that it was, such a different shopping experience because I was like, I don't know what this stuff is. Like I was trying to buy the black vinegar, like the black rice vinegar. I call it Chinese vinegar. Of course, you can't call it Chinese vinegar because that's not what it is. It's what it's called at restaurants. But it's just they have their own brand names for that. But none of it's in English. Or half the stores in English, half the products are just not. So it was very fun, but I did feel like I could have used Eugene there to help me because I also don't know, when you go to our grocery stores, normally you can look at like, okay, well, there's 8 different brands of frozen pizza, but this one's the good one.
Yeah.
But there's 8 different brands of dumplings. Which one's the good one? I don't know. So I bought like all these different types of brands, but I did text Eugene and he was like, oh, that's a good brand. That's one of the good brands.
Keith eats
okay.
every dumpling from the Asian supermarket.
Hey, that's a good video.
We had some really good. I had some kimchi veggie dumplings yesterday, and they were like so delicious. We got some chicken dumplings, some pork and leek dumplings.
You need to
it was
stop
great.
right now.
Wow.
I'm
really
so
good.
jealous.
I'm getting hungry.
So have you guys you've noticed that like you can't get Amazon Fresh anymore? That's like a thing. It's sort of stopped.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause it's just grocery
It has to be
shopping.
scheduled out days in advance.
Yeah. I mean, even then,
It's like 4 days.
You have to get on like really early in the morning because the 4 days in advance get eaten up. Like all the delivery times get eaten up. So you can't get
Wow.
it. You can't even get it. Like we were trying to do that for our house, but we just couldn't do it. We had to send somebody to Whole Foods in gloves and a mask.
Hey, Miles, I have a quick non-grocery store related question for you. So
Hey.
for the YouTube feed, you're the one recording this, your computer. So is your naked body just so much more crisp than ours on your feed?
Yeah, I'm a little. It is way crisper. I'm also. I got a webcam from our office because we have all those webcams. So I'm using like a nicer camera. So like my shot is deluxe. It's a deluxe. Yeah, it's a deluxe.
You're coming
image.
to us in 4K while we're all in 320.
I am seeing the contrast on you, Miles. I mean,
I
you
know.
have
Richer colors.
such
for
a
sure.
deeper range of colors. I mean, we're getting like the reds and the blues and the greens. You got a nice plant behind you.
You can see my 6 scar from my shoulder surgery. You can see the Star Wars poster in the background. It's a good time.
The far side of you looks like when Edward Cullen stepped into the sunlight and glistened. He's like, I'm hideous. Don't look at my glistening body. Miles, have you ever told the story of your scar? Do you want to?
Oh, I don't know. I was on a slack line when
Shot with an arrow.
I used to tell people that I was mugged and stabbed, but it like isn't that at all. I was on a slack line when I was a little boy, and I was, slack line is, it's like a tightrope kind of, but I was
Yeah, it's
running
on college quads a lot.
Slack
Yes.
line got a little too slack.
a little too slack. We put it up in between 2 trees in my backyard, and I was practicing, and I was like running up to it and jumping on, and then I jumped and my legs locked, so I just hit the bungee cord and then shot straight up into the air and then
Ooh.
fell onto my shoulder and broke it and dislocated it. And so then the doctor was like, "Oh, it's just dislocated. Let's relocate that shoulder." But it was fully broken. So he like tried to relocate it, and it like made the break worse. And then they had to immediately take me to surgery, and I had a cast on, or like a cast, and like I couldn't move my shoulder, and so I've got a big plate and 6 screws right there.
I'm sorry, Zach asked.
Yeah, man.
I liked it. Until you fell to the ground, it sounded like a really cool cartoon scene. Like, boing, whoa!
Oh yeah, wild.
I didn't realize they were that like bungee, like elastic
Yeah,
slack
exactly.
lines. It's not really very slack, is it?
Not really very slack. Although, like, I think that like I probably just didn't know how to do it, and so I just flew off. And
That's not slack.
You know what that reminds me of? A certain documentary that is #1 trending worldwide on Netflix called Tiger King.
Yeah.
There's a
We
guy
were
in it
watching
who,
it last night.
yeah, so I finished it. There's a guy who is missing basically both his legs, and he goes, it's not from the tigers though. It's from a slackline accident.
Wait, really?
No, his was
He's
he was a zip line accident.
zip line accident. Yeah. Whatever it is, all of those, your accident, his accident, all of Tiger King, it just confirms my theory that there's a certain brand of white people crazy that is just like, for me as a person of color, I just don't understand it. It's like, I don't know where these people found the
you must have
time.
grown up around people like that. When I watch Tiger King, I see people from Carthage, Tennessee.
Yeah,
like I'm
Same.
like, I know those people.
Same.
Yeah.
When I was watching Tiger King, I was thinking of all these people in Florida that I knew, and it's a little too close to home for me. It wasn't so much an insight into an unknown world as just a reminder of, of course, because of that person got their arm bit off because of course they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start with this feeling of, okay, already pretty terrible people when it comes to animals in captivity, and then it's just completely trumped by the fact that they're just awful human beings to other human beings. And this, I highly recommend.
yeah.
This is a great quarantine watch. It'll make you feel both more crazy and somehow a little less crazy, because you have to remind yourself, oh, there's some fuckers like this who exist in the world before any pandemic happened. Like, they don't have an excuse for being fucking crazy. They're just crazy people. I also don't know how some women find so much animal print clothing.
Oh my God, that scene's incredible. Yeah. Wow. What a load of clothing.
There's a woman named Carol who her entire closet is just like bright animal prints. It is.
Hey, all you cats and kittens out there.
Guys, I feel like that would
a
be
little bit, but it's a show about these 3 main zoos, privately owned zoos in the South, where they own hundreds of tigers and big cats and these wild creatures that are not regulated in the country, and it's then their interpersonal conflicts. It's just the craziest show. I think everyone is watching and talking about it, so if you're not, get on it. It's funny hearing you guys say that it like made you be like, oh, that's my home, those are my people, because I grew up in New York, and then I moved to Boston and then to California, and watching that show, I've never felt further apart from my knowledge of the country. I just am like, oh, there are just 8 million different worlds buried within this nation. And I'm always aware of my level of ignorance. Like, we all share an ignorance of how other people live within the country, but I felt so distant from it.
Yeah, it is crazy. I relate with Keith where like we had horses, and so we definitely like went to houses that had a lot of different types of animals, and and there were guys with no teeth who like talked about the animals. I remember specifically my dad was like, "Miles, you got to come with me today. I have to go do something." And we went, and my dad was helping this farmer have his 2 horses mate. And I was a little boy, and it was sort of traumatic.
I'm sure it was traumatic. Boys got to learn someday. Boys got to learn someday.
Miles didn't do the birds and the bees. He did the horse and the horsecock.
It was, yeah. I just remember very vividly as a little boy being like, "What is happening to those horses?"
Horse and the horse.
This podcast, again, is brought to you by Shopify and Bubba Rose and Potluck and Pop It Pal and a million other businesses.
Why so many? Because we're sponsored by Shopify, and they do everything they can to support the independent businesses on their platform, so they included them in this sponsorship.
You know, Shopify really does everything possible to support independent businesses. That's kind of why, like, we're naming these other businesses. In this moment, they actually do support their businesses more than just saying that they do. They are actually including them in this sponsored piece, which is very cool.
Including us.
Yeah, they help us start and sell and market our business. They manage our business. And Shopify powers independent businesses of all sizes so they can support you, even if you're small or if you're getting bigger. It's really a great solution for any business out there.
Yeah, really the best business partner you can have with 24/7 customer support. Because just because you're independent, it doesn't mean that you're not alone.
So see all the ways Shopify is supporting independence at shopify.com/independence. Not independence like Independence Day, independence like you're independent. Go crush it. Shopify, supporting independence.
Zach, you're probably the only one in the group who didn't experience this, but there's like, you know, for us in the South in particular, there's like a subset of like cliques that are like 4-H club and people who lived on farms or had animals. Like that was like an actual group of people, you know? Like I had a friend who had a deer farm. I had someone I knew who was like, oh, and there's also people who hunted. They're like, those are the hunting kids, you know? Because you go to their house and they had like the mounted, what are they called? The heads of the kills.
Right,
and they'd be
Or
like,
the,
oh, you want to
the
talk
gun
about
rack.
like all my guns? Yeah, that was like definitely a thing.
Try and not become a statistic of the little kids who are playing around in the gun rack.
Oh my God, yeah.
I remember seeing a friend's gun rack and I was like, we should leave.
Yeah, terrifying.
I'm glad that we brought this show up because I would like to issue one of our very famous TryPod corrections and retractions.
TryPod correction.
Wait, who said something wrong?
Retraction.
Well, I didn't say something wrong.
Oh,
But
it was you, Zach.
It's always me.
Did Becky text you?
Anytime we take something back, it's me. First, it was the czar of olive oil, North America, coming after me.
I've taken a lot back.
Well,
But in a previous episode, I somewhat bragged about being able to play with a baby tiger at one point. And there was a Hollywood animal trainer. It was a tiger that was, raised for commercial. So as he was a baby, they let him play with us to get used to humans. And watching the show, I'm not done with it yet, but I thought that was such an isolated thing of like, hey, this is just this one tiger that has this very unique life and is very well trained for. But seeing that it's such a widespread thing and now knowing like, oh God, where did the tiger come from? If breeding is where I don't know, it made me rethink the whole thing and realize that even in a small way of me taking a picture 6 years ago and then bragging about it here, I have helped contribute to that problem.
The whole industry.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Fuck me.
Speaking of documentaries, have you guys seen Don't Fuck with Cats?
Oh yeah, another great cat-related doc.
Fucking incredible. I feel like Don't Fuck with Cats is up there with The Jinx in terms of like amazing stories that circulate, and then it finally it's just so well done.
we should say a disclaimer that it does involve crime and with animal cruelty towards kids.
Oh,
so just
of
be aware of
course.
that. They don't show the actual thing
It's
happening.
horrible.
Then it goes into like full on murder. But also like it's a great doc though. It's another example of what I would consider like maybe another crazy white dude who's also gay.
Yeah, right.
This is not. I'm not claiming any of these people for my own. It's just a lot of crazy ass gay white guys.
Well, I have something to share that made me feel better and be more positive. You can see behind me are a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards that I have been slowly organizing.
Oh boy.
So I tried doing a FaceTime board game night with Magic the Gathering. I guess card game, but I had one screen that showed the tabletop, kind of like a bird's eye view of where all the pieces were, and then I had my phone showing my face and my friend's face, so we could kind of like look each other in the eye and try and guess what we were doing, and it worked out great. I gotta tell you, it's hard to have social connection when you're in quarantine, but that's like it's totally possible to either play a board game or a card game with somebody else over the internet. Just get like a laptop pointing one way, phone pointing the other way, and also a little notepad to write down all what the other person has, because the camera quality isn't great and it's hard to remember. I definitely made several unforced errors where I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that card was there. Or like, oh, I forgot that card could do that. But then I played with a notepad and I was much better.
Oh, that's so fun.
Ned, you're probably the board game expert of the group. I've been really searching my brain, trying to figure out games I can play remotely with friends. So there's the Jackbox games, there's certain Nintendo games, but what are some other games that you've figured out ways to play remotely? Magic is one that surprises me.
Yeah. Well, there is a online version of Settlers of Catan. Any game that already has an online multiplayer, super easy. I believe there's also one for Ticket to Ride. Obviously, any video games are like classic. But in terms of board games, I think like anything where I think you could do it, like Pandemic, for example. It doesn't have an online version,
little close
right?
to home right now, but
well, that's why I thought it would be fun. So I want to play it where each party kind of makes the same moves at the same time, so you can look at the same board, just with like a FaceTime call in between. I'm pretty sure it can work for just about anything, as long as you are communicating and know the game pretty well, and maybe are taking some notes if there's hidden information on the other side. But yeah, I mean, I think all the classics. I like Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride. I also like Seven Wonders. I don't know if you guys have played Seven Wonders, but it's a game that can handle up to 7 people, and you're like in ancient Mesopotamia, like doing one of the 7 wonders of the world civilizations, trying to build that wonder. And it's interesting because in a 7-player game, that's crazy, right? But you're only ever fighting or trading with the people on either side.
Another surprising positive I've found of social isolation or social distancing has been the resurgence of the phone call. And with the kind of dying out of text messages. I, the other day, was going to text Keith, and I was like, you know what? I'll just FaceTime him. And we talked for 45 minutes, because what the fuck else are we doing? And it was lovely.
We've been doing Fulmer Family Happy Hour every day at 5 p.m.
That is adorable and so you.
Crack open some wine, call some people, calling like our family, some friends from the other side of the country. Yeah, we called Keith. That's how we came up with the bread plan. Mm-hmm.
So
Eugene, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I haven't delivered you bread, Eugene. You live so far away, and I'm socially distancing.
So far away. There's no cars on the road. We drive over there every day for work, Ned. This is like 15 minutes tops.
Okay, 25. But yeah, you know what? What else am I going to do with my time? Maybe like strap Wes in. We'll have an adventure. I'll bring you guys both some bread.
Ned, you could deliver Eugene and I both bread before this podcast is done recording. You could just get up right now.
Well, I don't have bread right now. I need to.
Come on.
He's got to make it fresh. Yeah.
I've also finished all the bread.
It's all right. You don't have to give us bread.
I do now.
Well, what, Miles? Spit it out, Miles. What, Miles? What do you want to say? Just say it, Miles. What is it, Miles?
What sort of transition do
What
you
is it,
want to
Miles?
do?
I was gonna update.
Miles,
Miles,
just say
our
it.
shirts
Miles
back
trying
on.
to keep me
Miles,
from
just
getting
say
bread.
it. Don't spread.
Fine.
I was
Fine,
gonna
I'll take
Go
my
ahead.
pants
Go
off
ahead,
too.
Miles. Miles, go ahead.
And if you hold real quick, we're patching
ahead,
in
Miles.
Miles on the street. Go ahead, Miles.
What's up, Zach? I'm sitting out here in sunny California. I was just gonna update everyone, but it's not important.
Thank you, Miles. Going back to Keith in the studio.
What is it, Miles? What? Everyone's dying. We want to know.
Okay, here's the thing. I was gonna give an update to last week. Me, Ned, and Zach squatted up in Fortnite together.
Oh, yes, that's right. We sure did.
Yeah, it was an absolute
Dusted
blast.
off the old
I'm so happy.
Fortnite
I'm so happy.
reflexes.
It
It
hit a
took
little
us about
different
an
for
hour
me
to start
because I knew
playing
it.
because I had to download the game.
Yeah, Ned had to download the game. Zach was playing on Switch with a controller split in half. It was a wild time.
But we came in
You know, it
fourth
was-
place.
Yeah,
I feel like
we did
now
good.
with they do Fortnite on multi-platform, so the first couple of people, like they're probably on their phones. You can get some easy kills, not even being very good at the game.
Yeah.
I feel
it was
bad.
very-
Like I just walked up to somebody and blasted them in the face. I'm like, oh, they probably are on their phone and have not played this. And I'm not. I'm really bad at it. So that's saying something.
So I do have bad news for you guys. Maggie, as you know, works with kids, and she was with an 8-year-old the other day, and she was like, "What are you playing on your phone, and what are you watching? Fortnite?" And he goes, "Fortnite's over. It's all about Minecraft again." So we're behind the 8 ball, man. I don't know what to say.
That's a bummer.
Well, Minecraft was popular, I think, before Fortnite, so
It
it kind
was.
of comes in waves. So, you know, in a way, maybe we're just at the front of the next crest.
Wow. Yes, we could take this time to train, and then we'll
Right.
be ready to crush
When
all those
Fortnite's
kids.
back,
Yeah.
we'll be here for it.
Ninja who?
Ninja here.
Ninja, Bonsignore.
Ninja B.
I gotta say something right now. So right before this podcast started, I was like, I'll open up my windows so I don't get too hot. But now I'm both freezing and hot because of how my body is. And we took our shirts off, so my body's like, oh, I better produce more heat to keep them warm. So I am sweating, but also I'm very cold because the window's open and the window's like right next to me. So I don't know.
Is that-
if,
I am
Your
also,
body does,
like, my
Keith?
armpits are sweating.
Yes.
This is strange, but my fingertips
Your body
are cold.
goes, I need to be hotter. Let me, I'm cold. Let me sweat to keep the body warm.
Yeah.
I don't know what my body's reasoning is. It's not very communicative. I just know that if I sit and without a shirt on, and especially if I have a computer because the computer's hot, I will just start sweating. Like, I'm sweating. I've been sweating.
Well, you know,
since
I mean,
about-
shivering is kind of like those 1960s workouts where you strap a little band around your butt and it goes. People used to think
version
that would
of-
get them skinny.
Keith's version of Inside Out is just a bunch of water droplets going, what if we sweat more?
Right, I tell you, this is maybe this is TMI, but this is my life. I'm sitting here, I'm so sweaty, sweat is running down the side of my body,
Whoa.
How?
like
wow.
droplets of sweat.
Keith, I bet you're as
Move.
sweaty as normal, but your shirt normally soaks it all up.
Exactly,
I mean, think
yeah.
about those pits.
My pits always be sweating. I
Oh,
wanna get-
24/7 pitting out.
Let me tell you guys, once the coronavirus is done, once it's done, I'm gonna go get Botox in my armpits. I'm done with this bullshit.
Whoa.
I'm done being all sweaty. I want to poison my pores so that they cannot cry.
I don't
Happy
think most people
summer.
are aware of that as an option. What is
Yeah.
that? You can...
What's that mean?
You can Botox your armpits, and basically what Botox is, if you don't know, it's botulism, and botulism makes things not work. And eventually your body will fight off the botulism, so then you need more Botox. But you can put
You just want your
Botox-
armpits to look young forever.
You can put it in your armpits, and then you won't sweat. Now you can do a permanent solution, which is to laser your pores to death or something.
Whoa.
And that will permanently do it. But I want to test it out because I
Does
want to
that
see
also
how
take
does
away
my
your
body
armpit
react.
hair?
I think it might. But I want to do the Botox first to see how does my body react when it can't sweat from there. Is it going to sweat more from somewhere else? Is it, like what's going to happen when I do that before I make like a permanent decision or something?
Maybe it'll just make you hotter all the time because your body can't. Sweating's just self-regulating, right?
I don't know. Mine's overactive. I think I have a hyperactive sweat system.
Isn't it like 57 degrees right now?
It's cold.
How are you
cold,
sweating?
yeah.
It's really cold outside.
I'm only wearing pants, no socks, no nothing. My toes are freezing. My arms freezing. My body, however, my core blazing hot. Like you can't see it on the webcam, but it's wet. This is wet. Maybe move it to the side. You can see it's wet.
Oh God,
it's wet.
Oh, that's nasty.
I know. This is what you asked for. When you
did you guys see that data out of China that heat and humidity decreases virus transmission? So maybe, Keith, if you just keep coughing into your armpit like your shoulder pit, you'll just
die.
be like super safe. But no, it does
The
make
cure
me
for
think
coronavirus is just rubbing Keith's sweat over everyone's body. Bottle that
I will
shit
do my
up. You can
part.
save the world.
But it means in the summer, when it gets hotter, things will probably get better, which is comforting to me.
Yeah, apparently sleeping with a humidifier drastically decreases your risk of getting sick at all, just because you're breathing in that sweet moisture.
I was sleeping in the shower.
Zach, you use CBD, right?
I do. I love CBD. And Ned, I want to tell you and everyone listening about Caliper CBD. Have you heard?
No.
Caliper CBD is a powder. So it's super easy to use. You can put it in a smoothie. You could put it in your coffee, your tea, water, anything that you can shake up, and it disappears. There's no grassy flavor, and you get the great benefits of CBD. I'm a stressed out person. My body is extremely achy from chronic pain, and because of that, I oftentimes can't sleep. CBD helps with all of those. I feel calmer. I'm less sore. I sleep through the night. It really, CBD has changed my life. It's become an essential part of how I live and how I can manage with all the things going on. Caliper CBD comes in affordable 10 and 30 count packs that you can get started for under $20. Whoa, and this part blew my mind. It is clinically proven that your body will absorb 450% more CBD with Caliper compared to tinctures, which is those droppers under your tongue that you were talking about. That's wild.
Wow. Well, get 20% off your first order when you use promo code TRYGUYS at trycaliper.com/tryguys.
Caliper is so sure you'll love the product, they even offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's trycaliper.com/tryguys. Don't forget promo code TRYGUYS for 20% off your first order.
Thank you. Look at my beautiful wife. Look what she just brought to me.
Whoa.
Chunky tomato avocado toast.
Yes, look at this. Oh my Lord. And she's taking away my finished smoothie cup. I bet you she's going to wash it. Oh my God!
My goodness!
Oh, she is the sweetest thing.
Wait,
Get yourself
can
a
we
wife,
hear from
y'all.
Becky for a sec? Can we get a Becky cameo?
Becky
She's
moment.
gone,
Oh.
and she's not dressed appropriately to be filmed, I'm sure.
You can move the microphone off camera.
That's true. Becky!
Do a little dance.
Becky! Becky!
Becky! She's gone. I
She's
don't know.
gone. She's out
We
of
have
here.
a huge apartment. She must be out of reach. This is a really big place, let me tell you.
You mentioned showers, which made me think of, sometimes me and Wes will take showers together, and he giggles. It's hilarious. But the other day, he pooped in the shower.
Oh my God!
It was too funny. A little tiny turd in the bottom of the shower.
Oh goodness!
I'm gonna let you talk to Becky here. Becky's coming.
Oh,
on, but she's
Becky's
not coming
here.
on screen because she's also not wearing
I
a
also
shirt.
don't have a shirt on. Hello.
Hi,
How's it
Becky.
going,
How's
Becky?
it going?
Good.
Gentle
How are you
voice.
guys?
Becky, what's been your favorite thing about quarantine so far?
Oh, wow. The list is so long. There are a lot of things I love about being in my house every day, every moment, every hour, with no escape. Wow. Actually, I think there's nothing.
No, Becky, no.
You like the fact that you're, by doing so, are keeping other people safe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Obviously that. Duh. That part's been great. Being, a hero for staying home.
Yeah, do you have any tips out there for the people at home?
Shave your legs if that's something you do. It makes you feel like a new person.
Hey, I'll go shave my legs.
Shave your legs.
So give your little leggies a shave.
Eugene, are you taking a selfie right now?
Ooh, I'll do one
What?
too.
Eugene, are you taking a selfie?
Yeah, I saw
No,
Eugene take a selfie. Ned's taking a selfie too.
I was taking a selfie, sexy selfies for Becky.
Okay, I'll send a sexy selfie to Becky too. Why not?
Yeah.
Becky, we're going to do a
boy.
sexy
Wow.
selfie competition,
Sexy
and you're going to tell us
selfie.
who has the sexiest selfie.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I just texted mine to Becky.
Oh, we all texting
Okay.
him to Becky?
Yeah, text it to Becky or to Keith. And then Becky
No, I don't
will
want Keith to
judge.
know that I'm texting salacious photos to his wife.
All right, here we go.
I'm not happy with my work.
This is so
You
exciting.
know, the lighting is a little wacky in here.
Got to get in front of a window.
All right, Becky,
Yeah,
I just
you're
sent you.
right.
I just sent you mine.
Okay, I don't have my phone.
She doesn't have her phone.
Have her phone. Okay.
I was doing dishes.
Well, she
I'll
can go
send mine to
grab
Keith
it, and
as
then
well.
we'll check in with her again, and she can give us
Oh,
the
yeah.
results.
Becky, towards the
Yeah.
end, we'll check in with you to see who won the selfie competition.
Okay,
Now-
sounds
now,
good.
guys,
And you know,
I-
that reminds me of what my favorite thing might be, which is Eugene is texting me more than ever
Oh,
during
yeah.
quarantine.
Me and Becky are basically having an affair.
And Matt. And
Yeah,
Matt.
but-
Don't forget Matt.
But he doesn't text as much as you and I are the very text heavy, like constant Tiger King thread. Keith and Matt are just dropping in for the occasional LOL. And then me and Becky are like, let's discuss Carol's wardrobe.
Carol's eyeshadow is wonderful.
I'm feeling pretty good about my sexy selfie. I saw what you guys were doing, and I went with a different strategy.
What was
I
your
did
strat?
low angle. Everyone
Yeah.
does high angle. I went low. I made sure to get full nipple in there.
Oh, that's
It's really,
good.
it's commanding a lot of the screen. And then I open my mouth and position the microphone in a salacious way that gives the impression of
A boner?
yes.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out a fun way to say penis. So thank
Yeah.
Speaking of boners, I got a bone to pick.
Hey! It's boners
okay?
to
I'm
pick
having
with
troubles.
Eugene.
I'm having troubles over here. I got a bone to pick. Miles was like, Keith, I bet you probably have a mic stand that'll be just fine, right? So I don't need to send you home with one.
You said-
I give you this piece of
you-
shit bullshit
you
mic
said-
stand
you
that
said
can't
you had
hold
a
a
mic stand.
microphone.
You
I
said
have
it.
Now,
You
I
said
did.
you had one. You told
well,
me.
I did have what I had.
Give me a clamp from my microphone. I had to go back to the office wearing a mask, risking my GD life.
I know. Will's there. He's weird. He's funky. He's in the office.
I'm also so hot that I'm sweating on the couch now. I got to sit off the couch.
Wait, so Eugene, what's your boner?
I actually just completely forgot while y'all were yelling.
I'm sorry,
No,
Eugene.
Eugene,
That's
I'm
all my
sorry.
fault.
No.
It just blanked out. I was just thinking about, I was like, which mic stand did Miles give me? I was like, Miles gave me a pretty good mic stand. I got very
What's
distracted
about
mentally.
Tiger King? Becky?
I have a
cheating?
bone
No.
to pick. You said you have a bone to pick. You have beef with somebody. You have a problem.
Becky set me off on something in my brain, and I can't
Tiger King
remember it
wardrobe eyeshadow.
That's so crushing.
now. No, it's okay.
You know what, Eugene, the way to remember is just clear your mind, focus on something else, and it'll pop right back. We were talking about Will, who is our assistant editor, who is, he's been the guy that's making sure all of the videos are still up on our channel. And so he has been working in our office still, but he's the only one. So it's still a quarantine. He just is there. So I had to pick up a hard drive from him. And the plan was he was going to leave it outside. I was going to drive over. I am isolating myself, but as long as I don't come in within 6 feet of him, I'm fine. I get to our office, and I kid you not, the door is shaking from how loud he is blasting music in there. Like he is living his best life, and it's like some synth 80s jam and then air horns. Like boom, 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 boom. And I call him. I'm like, well, because I wanted to see someone's face and talk to him. And the playlist he was playing was called CVS Bangers. And so the idea of it's songs that would play on the loudspeakers at a CVS. So like Toto or Africa by Toto, and like I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you. But then boom, boom, Pew, pew. All right. It's the most aggressive DJing over yacht rock. It was awesome.
Wow, that's really funny.
So I think he's
Did
having
you
the
guys
best time
know
of any
that
of us.
we are considered an essential business, apparently?
Oh,
Like
really?
we are imposing a quarantine because we think we want to encourage other people to do the same thing, and we think it's the safest thing for our company and employees. But as far as the California shelter-in-place mandate is concerned,
No, media is considered exempt.
yeah,
Wow.
media is considered essential. So this podcast you're listening to right now is essential.
You know what, Ned? Actually, this is a great place to drop a little juicy nugget of exclusive info. Normally we
Juice
save
fact.
our juice fact. Normally we save this for the end, but I don't want anyone to miss out on this. We have decided that starting next week for the foreseeable future, while we're here in our homes, we're going to be bringing you double the TryPod. We're going to be doing 2 episodes a week, a bonus episode every Tuesday in addition to Thursday, because we want to talk to you. We want to hang out. And we have time to do it.
We got nothing to do. We got nothing to do anymore. We're just sitting around without shirts on, trying to make microphones out of pillows.
I
Keeping
don't
each
remember.
other sane and entertained.
I don't remember my boner to pick, but I did have a thought.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah, you
thought. I don't know. It's not the same thought, but I don't know if anyone else experiencing this out there. I don't have like hobbies, right? I don't. I only have work and things that require me to be in like big social areas, like
Your bone to pick
dancing,
is
but
with
dance
yourself.
classes or bars.
Yeah. I think I've
don't
noticed that. Your hobby seems to be like going out.
Well, not really going out, but everything I do is like usually like on a schedule, work oriented, public places. I don't like play. I fucking hate board games. I don't play video games, have no video game consoles. The only thing I can do is like watch TV sometimes, but otherwise I've been like working, doing some like writing stuff, and then just sort of like staring into an existential abyss. Do you know what I'm talking about? I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I've been like, and I'm also a naturally introverted person. So even though Matt's here, I don't really want to be around him at all either. It's like very weird. So I find myself like I went to the restroom yesterday and I sat on the toilet for about 30 minutes and I was just staring at myself in the mirror. And I was just thinking like, what if all of the problems is just me, right? Like what if everything is just us? It is us. And there is no God, right? There's no God. And the concept of love is a human construct. I don't know. I've been having all of these things like that I used to think about as a teenager, and I'm like, maybe like Start was right. Like maybe we're just all like bouncing around like little molecules in nothingness. So yeah, that's been my fun time in quarantine.
I've been relearning to juggle. I got a bunch of old juggling stuff, and I've been trying to get back into it.
I think my question then is, I think maybe the other Try Guys need to give me a hobby to try to pick up, and we'll see which one I like the
you
best.
should learn to juggle.
Well, Eugene, I was going to say
Juggling.
that, I mean, by saying one of your hobbies is going out, I meant like going to drag shows is something you enjoy, right?
I do love drag shows.
Maybe you can like host your own like Instagram live like party.
I thought we wanted to do that at some point for sure, right? Maybe do a Try Guys Instagram live party.
That sounds
something
fun.
that we could do. Yeah, a lot of I don't know if people know or follow drag queens, but a lot of nightlife performers are actually doing performances on Instagram Live and then linking to some sort of PayPal to give tips, which is very clever. And certainly because nightlife people are some of the people who are hurting the most for sure. But yeah, I think it would be fun for us to maybe do some sort of show.
To go to your first point, I totally relate to you. I don't have hobbies. My hobbies growing up was making movies. That was like when I was a kid. After school, I went home, I wrote scripts, I learned Photoshop, and I made little home movies, and that became my job. And I have realized as I've aged, okay, that's maybe not the healthiest thing, and maybe not the most sustainable thing. And I've been meaning to pick up other hobbies, and I have not done it. And so, not to say that a global pandemic is a wonderful opportunity, but I've tried to take this, the forced being at home and tried to find the positive, and the positive has been trying to carve out hobbies. So pottery is not something I probably would have done until I retired, even though I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. So I'm trying to do it. I don't know.
Pottery's good.
I mean, you got a dang pottery wheel in your house. You're full tilt in that hobby.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
You were deep in that clay.
Do me more. And then
I think it's important.
Ice sculpting, Eugene.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You'd be so good at that.
I'd
Big
be pretty
ice
good at ice
cube.
sculpting.
You'd turn it into a head or a fish or a sword
or like
truck.
having an air succulent garden, so it doesn't require much maintenance, but you can check in on it every day. Like gardening would be great for you, Eugene, because you love patience.
Fucking hate gardening.
I think you should just download Animal Crossing.
Also, everyone. I just don't like video games. And then
But
everyone's
Animal
baking.
Crossing's not a video game. It's a second world.
Oh, I don't like any of the things where you're like pretending to be something. I think
You catch
baking seems
butterflies.
like it's good for a lot of
That's all
people.
games.
You're gonna get into baking. Yeah, maybe you're projecting about being sad about other people posting bread. You know,
Could
maybe
be. I
you're
mean, I'm just
actually
mad that I can't
expressing
eat the
to
bread.
yourself, like, I want to be the person posting my bread photos.
Be the bread you want to see in the world.
Yeah, that could be true.
Be
but
the bread.
Matt has just started baking sourdough and asked if I wanted to help, and I had zero interest.
You're not
you know,
ready for this, Jelly.
Last night, I started looking up, based on a video, I saw all these old-fashioned cocktail recipes.
Ooh.
And then I tried to make two, but then I ended up just drinking half a bottle of whiskey, and I fell asleep.
Hey,
well,
it's a
There
party.
you go.
yeah.
So I
That's a
ended up
hobby.
making, well,
You-
I guess I made one, and then I just started drinking, and I started watching an HBO show about post-war Italy.
I find that with cocktails, I have a similar thing where I will go for like, oh, I'm going to make a ton of cocktails tonight. It's going to be really fun. I make one, and then the second drink is just whiskey. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to motivate
Always.
to make a second cocktail.
But, it's not about that. It's about that one, right? That first one you do, you put some effort into it, and it's rewarding, and then you can reward yourself with straight drinking.
Well, because a lot of the best whiskey drinks involve like muddled sugar, fruit, and also ice that you don't have, and then egg whites, stuff that I don't want to do twice.
I'll tell you, I have been making lazy boy old fashions where you get your whiskey, get some bitters, and then I made like a little syrup, like an apple syrup, and then just like a little bit of that in there. And I don't have cherries, so I don't muddle the sugar, but it tastes pretty good.
There was an incredible tweet where it was everyone's coming out of this quarantine either a 5-star chef or an alcoholic, and there's no in between. It's just like with all our time. It's like either I'm going to put an hour and a half into cooking this crazy meal, or let's start drinking at 4 p.m.
Well, let us know what you guys are doing to spend your time. If you're watching on YouTube, give us some comments. Make sure you rate us 5 stars. It helps other people discover the podcast and get excited for Tuesday, Thursday episodes. We're also doing...
Better way to let us know how you're doing. We have a phone number you can text.
that's right.
Which is
I have the
awesome.
number. I have the number.
I have the number too.
Okay, you go then. You go.
Okay, it's 1-310-421-0711. That's 1-310-421-0711.
Yeah, this is an actual number shared by the 4 of us. You can actually text with us. We have thousands of people that have been texting, and we are trying to get to all of them. So be patient.
Can I tell you, actually, though, I've been a little insulted because I have been texting with some people on there. I've been having some great conversations. In fact, one person cast us as characters in The Office, and I said, wrong. Your rankings are
Wait,
wrong.
what did they say? What did they say?
I can try and pull it up. I think they said that Ned was Jim and that I was... I don't know. I said Ned is clearly Andy.
Toby.
Oh, Toby's fun. I didn't think about that.
Oh,
No,
rough.
he's Andy.
No, Ned's Andy.
Definitely
Keith-
Andy. Oh, we're
Keith
talking
is-
about Cornell, which, by the way, is the state school of the Ivy League.
There it is. I said Keith is Kelly.
Harsh. Yes.
Right?
Yes, Keith is
Right?
Kelly. That's funny.
Eugene was cast as Ryan, but I actually think that he is our Jim without the love interest, which maybe is Ryan. I could see either.
Yeah, I think if you watch most Try Guys videos, I am like constantly jimming the camera.
Yeah.
You love that.
I'm just dry eyeing whenever there's craziness around me.
And
God,
I
he's
said
so
that I was
hot.
probably Phyllis.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
But
Or
so I had these
Creed.
conversations. I'd be thrilled to be Creed. So I had these conversations with people. No, Miles is Creed.
Yeah.
Hey, happy to be Creed.
So I was having these in-depth conversations with people, and then like, you're a robot, and I'm like, how dare you? I am having scintillating
It is
conversation
actually
with
me.
people. It's me. So I'm just like trying to write in a way that proves that I am not a robot. I am a human being. So infuriating. So get on that. Text us. But if you're being confused for a robot, you might be frustrated. You might be lost, and you might say, "Beep boop bop. I need advice." Dare I say, advice that'll go for miles? With your host, Miles. All together now. Wait.
Oh, he's already dancing. I think the song has already started.
Oh, Miles, could you start the song over? We weren't ready.
No, let him go. Let him go. He's doing it.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
Doing a like.
Wow, the shimmy.
Wow, his pecs really shimmied crazy in that.
What's up, Miles Nation? How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, bro.
Have you ever
10
wanted
a.m.
to be as clean and rigid as a noodle?
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to hide in a little place? Introducing the next big thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna revolutionize your whole shit.
Eugene is texting. He's not engaged in this advice. You're losing us.
I'm not texting. I have
What
I
is?
have a cut on my hand.
Oh.
Is your cut okay?
It's getting a little better, but it was an open wound.
Miles, stay in it.
My advice to you is to manage your cables.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
All you
Yeah.
wishy-washy, idiot, stupid, panty-wanty, dumb little lollipop lickers with your cables all over the place. Get out of
Personally
it.
attacked.
Get out of here with that. You can easily manage your cables with some bongo ties, some zip ties, a couple of other little easy things, and your desk isn't going to look like a fucking nightmare. It's going to look like a clean piece of shit with your cables behind the desk. They're going to be hidden. You're going to be happier, and people aren't going to wander into your home and say, "You're a little shit."
I love it. You
Okay.
know, I will add, Miles, that in addition to the tying and keeping them kind of bundled together, there are these shoebox-like things
Yeah.
that you can use for the behind the television cables. Because,
Yes.
you know, like computers are one thing, but then behind the TV, it gets a little crazy back there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy
And it
back
prevents
there.
dust
Uh-huh.
bunnies. It keeps everything together and correct.
We hate bunnies.
I'll say that's good. So recently, as you guys have known, I've taken off as a streaming superstar. And because of that, I have a lot of cables. I've got webcam cables, audio cables, and second monitor cables from my PlayStation into the Elgato, into my computer. I've got all kinds of cables. And so I have been spending a lot of time, because we're in quarantine, bungeeing my cables to the back of my desk. And I will say it fills me with great joy. Also, here's the thing. If you have a laptop and you want it to be like, you want to have a desktop computer, you can get what's called specifically if you have a MacBook, you can get a Thunderbolt dock where you need one cable that plugs into your computer and everything else goes into that dock. So you don't have to like plug your computer into 1,000 different things. You can just have your computer go up and down in one cable and it'll do everything.
Like that.
So I'm rocking
You're so
that.
clean. You're so neat, Miles.
Thank you very much, man. I'm neat. I'm clean. I'm freaking streaming Fortnite. If I'm freaking...
When are we squadding up again? I got that itch. I got that hunger.
Dude, I'm down to squad up again. I think finally I've figured out how to make it not laggy and bad. The past couple have been a big failure, and I love it about that. People tuned in for the failure. They tuned in for the chaos. They love it. They are showering me with Fs in the chat, and I appreciate it.
So two quick things before we wrap this up, and one is a direct segue off of that. Live stream is something we're having a lot of fun with. Over the next couple weeks, we're looking for ways to keep ourselves entertained and hopefully keep you guys entertained. We are all stuck in our homes, but for good reason. It does not have to be a negative. It does not have to be a bad thing. We want to create as much positive out of this as possible. So whether that's encouraging you to pick up a new hobby or allowing you to just feel like you're hanging out with us and distract. So what are things you want to see on this podcast? I did a Cats live Instagram stream the other day, which was a blast. I had about 4,000 of you watch the entire movie with me, which is ridiculous. So I'm thinking about doing more movies. I want to watch Josie and the Pussycats, one of my favorites. I want to watch Fast and Furious 5, one of cinema's quintessential. But, hit us with recommendations. What do you want to see from us? Eugene, I know you wanted to host a karaoke party.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hit us in the Twitter and the DMs and all that shit. Just
Zach,
text us. Yeah.
Zach, you're Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec.
Oh, I'm not even in the office.
No, honestly, Parks and Rec makes more sense. Then Keith would be Chris Pratt, and then
Yes.
actually,
You're Ron Swanson.
No, I'm probably April Ludgate. I'm definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm. What's her face? So pretty.
Is Ned,
Ned's Amy Poehler.
or is he
He
Rashida?
has to be Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Yeah. No, he's
I
Amy
think
Poehler.
he's
and
Rashida
then,
Jones.
No, Rashida's too dry. Ned wants to do good. Ned wants to do
I'm
good.
pretty
He wants to manage.
optimistic.
He's super optimistic.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I would say I'm probably John Ralphio, and I appreciate it.
You are John Ralphio.
Dude, you're so right. We
That
fit way
is-
better in a Parks and Rec than The Office.
That's perfect.
That's wonderful.
Is Becky there to give us the results? Because I know the audience will probably be sad.
Oh,
or
yeah, go
call
get
out if
Becky.
I
you
have
said
no idea what you're talking about because I didn't have the headphones on when you were communicating. I was just trying to lip sync what Becky was saying.
Well,
but I don't know
tune
what
in
you're
next
talking about.
Tuesday to get the results of the
No.
sexy
We
selfie
made a
contest.
promise,
Get
Ned. Don't
Becky.
you
They're
dare.
gonna get mad.
Well, I don't know if she's got clothes on. I'll go get her.
Okay, so while we go wait for Becky, the second thing, we'll get serious for a second and then we'll get happy again. Please, guys, continue to be safe out there. Continue to stay in your home. I know you come to us for comedy and for relief, but this is an extraordinary moment that requires extraordinary action. So while there are some people in this country, including the president, that are encouraging you to go outside and continue shopping and do things as normal, if you have the option, if you have the ability to stay inside, please do so. It is crucial for your health, but really the health of everyone around you, for the economy, for those who are in the long run, for those who are more at risk. I cannot say this enough. It is incredibly important that we continue to take this seriously. So thank you for doing so. And we will continue to make it funny. Keith, hit us up, man.
First off, I went in there and Becky immediately, I was like, they want to know who won. She's like, yeah, cool. Do you know that lizard that died? They're holding a memorial for it. I'm like, no, I'm still on the podcast. Stay focused. She said,
Wait, what about
that
the lizard, Keith? What about the lizard?
I had to cut her up, so I don't know about the lizard.
We'll go find out about the lizard.
Okay,
no,
okay,
Zach.
so the winner, and everybody has an honorable mention. So
Wow.
the winner was Eugene. His was the
obviously.
cutest.
Yeah.
Zach's was the most vulgar. Ned's was the most swipeable on a dating app. Be like, yes, I want to see more.
Whoa.
And Miles was not that.
I tried to make mine pretty horrible, and I believe I succeeded.
What about yours, Keith? When you're not rated?
I didn't send her one. I didn't know what you were doing, so I just held up my phone and pretended
I put
to
a
be joining
stormtrooper
in.
mask in mine
Whoa.
to generate some intrigue.
Wow, and there's a Star Wars poster behind Miles. What a nice secret theme.
And I'm Baby Yoda. This has been the TryPod. We'll see you on Tuesday and again on Thursday. Twice a week, baby. Get your buns ready. Until then, Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Oh, yeah, we're feeling good tonight. We're feeling real all right. We're in our house all the time. We're eating all our food, and we are drinking all our booze, and we are trying to smile through it all. It's the TryPod.
Until next time, stay beautiful.
Everyone take your pants off.